Are you a Black woman that's like, you know what? I'm here. I'm ready to either start this business or grow the business that I've already started. You're based in the United States. Let me know. And that matters for the grants that we win. Y'all, your girl has been up today. Okay, I took a nap, but I've been working. We got so much work done today behind the scenes. And then finally, you own at least 51% of your business. Tap your screen. You can have partners in your business. That's fine. Grants don't mind that. But as the Black woman in this for profit small business, you must own at least 51% of your business. So if you own between 51% and 100% of your business, talk to me through tax. That matters. Grants will ask, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But talk to me and let me know that I'm talking to you. You're in the right place. I'm about to pour me some water, y'all. So you don't hear my little filter thing here in the background filling me up so that I can make it through this live. Throughout my coughs, you probably don't hear me do. Here we go. Okay. So the basic minimum requirements of finding, applying for, and winning a grant is that you are a Black woman with a for-profit small business. You're based in the United States. You're over the age of 18, and you own at least 51% of your business. It's that time of year, y'all gotta turn on the space heater before the main house heater, okay? So y'all hear me over here getting prepped for our chat, okay? All right. So you've told me you are a Black woman with a for profit small business. You're based here in the United States. You're over the age of 18 and you own at least 51% of your business. If you need a grant, I know I've asked you before, but tap your screen. Talk to me through taps or holla through hearts, as I like to say. Our comments are off right now because I really want to dive into our teaching first. Then I'm going to open up our comments for chats. It's a flyer that you guys currently see on your screen. You just hear my voice. I know you can't see me. I know comments are off. I do this for a reason, but I just put together an event in partnership with Google, a program called Watson Institute. Um, and it'll be hosted here live in Atlanta on Saturday, November 8th for our mentees who are already in my mentorship program, or those of you who will be joining us tonight over at blackwomeningrants.com. And I've been behind the scenes securing spots and scholarships and sponsorships for you guys to come hang out with us. So I'm excited to share more about that as a bonus, because we have scholarship seats at this event, plus scholarships to come join us in the mentorship tonight during the live. So if you're super nosy, you can go to blackwomeningrants.com, find out more about our mentorship. But one thing you will not find is information about this event. It is private, it is exclusive, it is invite only. And out of 655 ladies, only 30 people will be invited to come hang out with me, Google, Watson, and some more surprises. Okay. So you can go to blackwomeningrants.com, join us in our mentorship tonight. You can also click our profile link in your top left-hand corner of your screen here on TikTok, and it'll let you know how to be a part of our mentorship program. It's only $197 to join us for the next 6 months, one-time payment. There's also Klarna, Afterpay, and Affirm that is available for you if you need it. That's also available for joining us in the event, but I'll tell our eventees more about that. I'm behind the scenes working on our landing page as we speak, but I had to submit our flyer today. So I was like, I'm going to share this because I work hard on that thing. So we're going to be diving into how to use AI to win grants, not just apply for them. So tonight I wanted to share just a little bit about what grants are. These are specifically for grants for your business as a Black woman with a for-profit small business. I'm going to walk you through where to start and some of our grant winner stories. We have a lot of women who have won lots of money. And there's a certain myth that is out there about grants, but I'm going to teach you how to shift your mindset and also break down some of the business phases that grants look for, specifically for those of you who have not won a grant, or it's been a while in between your wins, or that winning streak, you want to keep it going. There are certain types of grants to apply to based on where you are in your business. So I want to talk about where to find those grants and what they can be used for and what they can't be used for. Okay. Tap your screen if that's cool with you. If you're like, okay, I need this information. I'm glad I'm here. Glad I found this live. Because there are reasons to apply for grants, but not every business qualifies for grants. So we're going to go through the qualified and the unqualified as we talk about how you can meet what we call your grant goals, meaning how much money you want to win through grants. And there's a secret formula, a 3-part formula to help you learn how to ask to be selected as a grant winner. Talk to me through taps. If we get to 2.3K likes, I'll dive into the content that's going to give you some of these secrets. Talk to me through taps. That's all I want to see is hearts fluttering on my side of the screen. Let me know if this is a topic that is interesting to you as a Black woman with a for-profit small business. Because I bet you want to either start a business or you've already started a business. Tell me by tapping your screen if you have either started a business or already are on your way to starting. Let me know if you're one of those people who has a heart to serve and you want to help your customers, you want to help your clients, you want to help the community. But you're paying out of pocket to get things done, to get them up and running, to get them growing. And so you could really use the help of other people's money for a change. Tap your screen and talk. I see y'all. Look at y'all. If you're someone who believes, there has to be a better way to fund my business dreams, even if you've tried, or maybe you're someone who wants to try winning grant money, tap your screen. If you are someone who's been applying to a lot of grants, but you keep getting rejected, or you've won a grant before, but you're not really sure why you won, or you're noticing that things are changing, tap your screen. Because a lot of the women that come on my live are wondering where to start finding this funding and if they can actually win a grant. Tap your screen if that's you. Because some of y'all come on here, y'all like, I've been praying for this. I've been talking to my friends about this. I've been thinking about this. I've been wanting to learn about grants. Tap your screen. Talk to me. Let me know that you're now in the right place. I see you. Okay, 3.1K likes. I see y'all. If you want to learn how to win grants for your small business and you prefer to learn from someone who looks like you and you would appreciate being led by a current grant winner, and you have a desire to at least be mentored through how to go find these grants, tap your screen. If you're someone who needs a step-by-step process, you're like, just show me what to do, tell me what to say of how to apply for these grants, because you wish you knew what to put on these grant applications to win, and you're at least willing to invest your time to make this a reality for yourself, tap your screen. You got to talk to me through taps. Y'all tap, I talk. The more you tap, the more I talk. If you're someone you're like, you know what, I'm happy to finally be in a place to fund my dream of funding my dream as a future grant winner. If you can actually see yourself winning a grant, tap your screen. Because if you're here with me tonight, or if you follow this page, which I hope you do, go ahead and click follow. If not, it should be in the bottom of your screen with a plus sign, or either at the top left-hand corner near our profile, a plus for you to come join us, because I know you want to win a grant. That's why you're here, nosy. So there are grant winners already in our mentorship program over at blackwomenandgrants.com. One is Tamika Sands Hendricks. She's a swim instructor in New York and she's won over $35,500. We call her our small business pitch champion. She can get on stage for 30 to 60 or for 60 seconds to 3 minutes actually. I think that's been her longest time between like a 3 and 5 minute pitch and she can win anything anytime. Can y'all see yourselves with an extra $35,500? Talk to me through taps. Brittany is a co-work space owner up in Virginia. She just won $15,000 in her very first small business pitch competition. So if you've been wondering how long it takes to win a grant, it takes about 90 days after you work with me. The 90 days are going to come and go. So you might as well learn how to win money, right? That's what Brittany did. She came to one of the lives. She didn't have a job. She didn't have money. So she said. But all of a sudden, she found some money to come join us in our mentorship over at blackwomenandgrants.com. And 90 days later, to the day, she was standing on stage with a big cardboard check in her hand with her name, her business name, and $15,000 richer. Can anyone here use the extra 15K? Talk to me through tabs. Because Tay has won, Brittany has won, Ashley Rankin has won. She's an organic skincare line owner in Colorado, who's won over $42,000 in grants and what we call grant funded opportunities. And I'll break down what those are in just a minute. And then someone that actually referred to our mentorship, her name is Victoria. She is a podcaster. She just pitched about a month ago and won her first $1,000 small business pitch competition for her business 90 days after the mentorship program. Our highest grant winner so far, her name is Raven Duvernay. She's a Black woman farmer up in Baltimore. She has won an extra $100,710. So I want to put a range out there. If you could use from 1,000 up to 100,000, tap your screen. Talk to me through hearts. Can you see yourself winning a grant? Talk to me through taps. What I want to do is not only see you tap, but let me see y'all share this live. We need to get more Black women in this room. This is a safe space to have a conversation about money, funding our business. Because one thing Black women are is underfunded in our businesses. We're underserved in our community as Black women, but more importantly, we are underestimated, y'all. We got power within our crew. So take a minute and hold down your phone screen and share this live. TikTok will let you invite about 15 people at a time into the live. So if I see a share, I'll keep sharing myself. So if you share, I'll share. So I'm watching the hearts. Okay, I see one share. Okay, there's another. Somebody shared it. I appreciate you. Thank you, girl. If you want to achieve your first or next small business grant win and receive that congratulations email, it's nothing like that feeling, y'all, from winning your first grant or your next grant. Whether you need to win a minimum of $10,000 in grants to help fund your business, or if you can too see yourself standing on stage with a big check after winning a pitch, you're in the right place. The status of winning multiple small business grants consistently is like none other. Like my mentees do not just win once, they win multiple grants consistently. And so that's how they've been able to win so much. It's that feeling of safety of having another way to bring in money for yourself. It's that ability to buy land and buy inventory, buy buildings, buy office space. Anyone here need that? You're like, I need to buy a building. I need to renovate. I need to break ground on some land. I want to purchase the land. I need a warehouse. I need inventory. I need office space. I want to expand my salon suites. I need a what do y'all say? I meet a lot of medical couriers who need like mobile vehicles because you want to be mobile. I meet mobile phlebotomists and notaries. And listen, I know you on this live today. Okay, so tap your screen and talk to me. Now, here's the boss move. Those of you who are ready to hire a team, even if it's just you, you're bringing yourself on full time in your business, and you're like, you know what? I could really use the grant to help me do that. Tap your screen and talk to me. Because grants can help you even with those of you who are like, I need a grant for marketing. It can help you have marketing dominance and become more visible in your industry. Tap your screen if that's you. Many of y'all say you want to win a grant for marketing. Full time employment status and paying yourself in your business. This all comes with a repeatable way of winning thousands of dollars in funding. Can you see that for yourself? I need to know for sure. We're small but mighty crowd tonight, okay? Y'all got us to 7K likes with your taps. I need y'all to keep talking to me through taps so I'll know I'm talking to the right crew and you know for sure you're in the right place. I'll tell you why we're tapping in just a minute. But this is where Black Women in Grants come in. We're bigger than just a brand here on TikTok with 87,000 followers. We're thankful and we're blessed that you guys are here. What we do in between the TikTok lives, and by we, I mean me, Jesus, and the 655 ladies that are in our crew over at blackwomeningrants.com. We're an online grant coaching community that teaches Black women for profit small business owners how to find, apply for, and win $10,000 or more in small business grants in 90 days. And so, what this does is help remove the barriers that you may have had before you met me to finding that funding that either you need for your business or you can see for helping your community or both. And so, we're here to help you find funding that fits your business needs and that's going to increase your access to this type of revenue, these types of resources. But I want to tell you why I do this and my transformation story of how I got started because I used to be a broke college student. I received my first refund check from school, and then I went on to learn about scholarships and subsidies and stipends. I've won over $1 million. I became a certified life coach, then a master life coach certification trainer. And then a colleague sent me a list of small business grants during the pandemic 2020. So I took a chance and I applied for one and I won my first $1,000 small business grant. I could not believe it was that easy. I'm so glad she sent that and I'm so glad that I followed through and submitted it. And I'm so thankful that I won. And so I took $100 and sold it back into her business. And then I took the rest of that and invested it into my business. And here we are. Since then, I've won over six figures in funding, in fully funded fellowships, in facilitator led MBA style courses, flights, free flights. I've been to New York twice this year and never been before. Food, fun, you name it. All of that comes with grants. We'll talk more about what I've won grants for. And if you can see yourself winning grants for the same thing, because grants have covered stuff for me that you wouldn't even think to apply for a grant for, okay? Tap your screen if you need to know what that is because you're nosy. So I've now been able to help over 650 Black women, small business owners find, apply for, and win over $500,000 in grants. We'll be at that number before the end of this year. And I've also granted over $648,000 in scholarships to come join us in our mentorship program. So if you're new here, tap your screen, say hello in taps. Y'all talking to me through taps, through hearts. Our comments, I'm going to open them up in just a minute. But my name is Dr. AJ Austin. I'm founder of blackwomeningrants.com. I'm a Google Data Center Fellow, a Goldman Sachs 1 Million Black Women, Black in Business, and Bank of America Women's Entrepreneurship Institute through eCornell alum. I'm also Self-Made Entrepreneur of the Year. I'm a 17-time self-published author and a content creator, a live stream host right here on TikTok with a following of all of our combined socials of 100,000 of y'all. So thank you for being here and hanging out with me. If you've been here before, tap your screen, talk to me. Where my OGs at? I know we have a few of our mentees here that are already in our mentorship program, learning about grants, finding grants to apply to. Y'all talk to me through taps. Here's why you should trust me, because I started off just like you. I needed funding. I was hoping to win funding. I was searching for help, but I was really unsure where to start. And as I mentioned, since then, I've gone on to win. I literally have copies of checks that I can show you right now and opportunities that I've won, all the way from a $10,000 filmmaking contest to where I was coached through how to do my first documentary that has now brought in multiple six figures into my company. About 2 weeks ago, I won a $500 gift card for Delta Airlines. So I get to fly anywhere in the world and they'll pay the first $500. So I be winning. Okay. There's a secret to winning that I teach my mentees over at blackwomeningrants.com. And by teaching small business for Black women with small businesses that are for profit, how to win these grants. We've been able to help over 650 win nearly $500,000 in grants and what we call grant funded opportunities. So we've helped women who are in the startup phase in their business. Tap your screen if that's you, like your business is kind of in your brain. We've also helped women who have started businesses, but they may have never won a grant, or those who have been applying for grants actively but they keep getting denied, they keep getting rejected, they keep getting ghosted. We teach you strategies to help you win that funding that originally told you no. Because helping Black women with for profit small businesses gain access to this revenue, to this resources, we call that OPM, using other people's money. Tap your screen if you could use a little OPM right now, because it lets you add money to your business bottom line. And it's the number one secret in what we call this secret economy or this ecosystem that a lot of people don't know about yet, thankfully, but I can teach you about it. But here's what I want you to think about first. A lot of people want finding grants and winning them for their business to be easy. You want to hire a grant writer. You want to apply only one time. You want your money to be guaranteed. Like some of y'all say, if I come work with you, can you guarantee me a grant? Child, no. Don't even come if that's your mindset, okay? Because if you want easy money or quick applications, grants ain't it, baby. It's definitely not a get rich quick. But that's only because you really don't believe you can win a grant if you're thinking like that. You've heard it's hard to win. You feel overwhelmed with the process. If you've ever seen an application that you might have started or were thinking about doing, and then you accept a defeat, like, I can't do this. Is this legit? Can I do it? Yeah. But here's where, well, first, tell me, was that you? Is this your thinking? Tap your screen. I can't see who's confessing right now, but have you ever had those thoughts? Talk to me. Anybody been thinking like that? Okay, I don't see any taps, so I'm assuming God gonna convict y'all and make you be honest. Let me plug up my phone real quick. I forgot I was not charging it. So, who here really believes that you actually can find, apply for, and win a grant? Anybody believe you can? You believe it? I like that. I see hearts now. Okay, cool. Has anybody ever tried to win a grant? We call that tried, applied, and even if you got denied, it's okay. You at least started looking for grants, tried to get accepted or win a grant. I'm making sure I'm still talking to the right people. Can anyone here use a grant? I know I've asked y'all like 15 times, but I got to make sure you know why you even here and you've thought about if you were to win a grant, what you would do with it. Anybody? Because really, if you switch your mindset to start believing that you can win a grant, you're on the right track. Because what that's going to fix is you're going to start to see grant opportunities that pop up. The secret to winning grants is to apply, apply, apply. And we call that the AAA method. It's also where you learn how to bet on you. And when you start betting on you and not try to look for someone else to do this for you or have an easy way out, you're going to start getting repeatable results. And it'll become a process to where you can literally copy and paste your answers. And then you'll start having that proven process for actually starting to win grants, not just apply for fun, because there's a difference between applying and approval. So let's talk about where to start, because when Black women win grants, we're not just winning for us, like we bring other people with us. So what are grants? Grants are gifts. They're free money. They're other people's money. They're granted unto you. They're debt-free. They're non-traditional. They're not a loan. It's not angel investment or venture capital. It's interest-free. Grants are not based on your credit. Did you know that? Tap your screen if you thought it was. Let me say it again. Grants are not based on your credit. They don't have to be paid back. Your criminal history doesn't matter. If you have that, that's between you and the law and the Lord, okay? No collateral is needed, okay? You also don't have to sell a portion of your company or give up like a percentage like you see on Shark Tank. But what grant funding really can do for you is save you from having to crowd fund. That means like when you're um, reaching out and getting mad at family and friends and mom and them because they don't have the money. They lack financial support into what they consider your little business. Like they can't help you. So grants are the money to do that for yourself. And so that's what I teach you how to do in our mentorship program. Let's talk about the businesses that don't qualify for grants. As long as you're not on this list, you are safe, okay? So franchises, multi-level marketing or MLMs, direct sales, and sin-based businesses. Sin-based businesses are businesses that will cause you to sin according to the Bible because America is said to be a Christian-based country. And so they go by biblical principles or what we call the laws of the land. And so these grants have to abide by American laws. That's why I asked, are you guys in the United States? Because this is where the funding resides. So again, if you're a franchise, if you're a multi-level marketer or MLM or into direct sales or sin-based businesses, you will not qualify for business grants. Tap your screen if you're happy you're safe. You're like, whoo, I ain't on that list. Okay, good, we good. Talk to me through taps. The reason why this exists as well is that grants are looking for original ideas only. They're looking for founders only. They're looking for those of you who have actually started your own businesses and you're the visionary behind it. Okay, I see a lot of y'all are safe. Let's take a minute and share this live out again. Let's pause or hold down your phone screen real quick and share this out. TikTok will let you invite at least 15 people. These are people you probably already send TikToks to already. Let them know they need to be here, especially if they're Black women with for-profit small businesses. If I see y'all share, I'll then go through the businesses that actually qualify for grants. So let me see a share or two, and then we'll keep going. I got some juicy gems, so y'all want to tell others about this. So let me see some shares, and then we'll move forward. Thank y'all for 11,700 likes so far. I see the shares. Thank you, girl. So if you are a Black woman with a for-profit small business and you're based in the United States, you're over the age of 18 and you own at least 51% of your business, you qualify to apply for and win grants. Is that you? I'm going to open up the chat really quick because I want to hear from y'all since we have a small crowd. I like when I can talk to y'all quickly. So let me find the comments here and turn them on. There we go. Talk to me in the chat about your business really quick. What do you do? Put it in the chat before more people get in here. Talk to me in the chat really, really quickly. Tell me what you do as a Black woman with a for-profit small business. And keep in mind, you can have multiple business ideas. That's fine. Yes, you can win multiple grants for more than one business or multiple grants for the same business. But a lot of y'all have a lot of ideas and you're like, I don't know which business to focus on first. And so I say prioritize which one has the greatest need. So talk to me in the chat, small business grant. Did y'all know that? You also don't have to hire anyone to apply for grants for you. You don't have to have an LLC to apply for and win grants. If a grant wants you to have an LLC, they'll let you know in their eligibility requirements. Hey, Hustle Princess, how are you, girl? You do need what's known as your employer identification number or your EIN. Those are free. You can get them online, free through the IRS. But you need that to receive a grant. That's like your social security number for your business. And that's letting grants know that you're running a legit business. And so they're going to use that for tax purposes when they pay out your funding. Okay. So in the chat, if you're just joining us, you're telling me what you do in your business. Put that in the chat. I'm trying to make plans to come back on here tomorrow with y'all to hang out a little bit to talk about grants. But I wanted to come on and just share some of the frequently asked questions and a little bit of information about what grants really are so you'll know what to look forward to. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but you don't need a business plan to apply for and win a grant. And yeah, you can use things like AI to apply for grants. AI is really good if you want to apply for grants quickly, but you also need to know how to use it the right way. And that's what I teach our mentees because, again, we have a tech background in this and getting funding. All the grants that I've won this year, I've used AI to do it. And so you want to get to a place where your applications, they can't tell that a robot wrote it for you, okay? So in the chat, I'm waiting on somebody to tell me what you do in your business. What is that business that you can see yourself winning grant funding for? Talk to me about that business in the chat real quick. I am on my phone. I just sent somebody an invitation. I didn't mean to, so ignore that, okay? I'm just clicking stuff. And so, talk to me in the chat about what you do. I wanted to read what y'all did real quick. So the business that you could see yourself winning a grant for, what is that business? Hey, Miss T. Miss T does bookkeeping. I see ya. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. TikTok is graying out comments. Let me approve these. Okay. I see startup idea and startup idea and audio prayer. Love it. Okay. Let me see. That was from Dr. Mimi. Anybody else want to share what you do in your business? Christy does childcare. Okay. You do need a business bank account as well to receive your grant funding when you're applying for grants. I just got to let y'all know that. And by the way, I can help you find, apply for, and win a small business grant. Me and Hustle Princess had an hour-long call yesterday talking about how she can position herself to win more grants. Some grants might have application fees as well, but I say use your discernment. Depending on what's on the other side of the grant application. One grant that I paid a $35 application fee for, I ended up winning $1,500 and then additional $12,000 in prizes like business coaching, business cards. I'll go through the list in just a minute. But could you see yourself doing that? Like if you became really confident in your grant application, could you see yourself paying a fee, applying for that grant for the potential to win thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of dollars? Y'all talk to me in the chat. Would you apply for opportunities like that? Because again, you just have to use your discernment. The best time to apply for a grant is right now. Grants open up every month, and some of them pay out quarterly or a couple times a year. Some do yearly, and then some do like one time a year as far as they keep going, but some don't. Some grants, they come out one time and then you never see them again. So that's why now is the best time to apply for grants if you were ever wondering, okay? Hustle Princess says, when I describe myself here, should I do it from the perspective of talking to grant givers? That's a good question. What are your thoughts? Like, which one are you leaning towards? Because you got to tell me more about why you're thinking on that angle, and I might be able to help you more. I do want y'all to get in the habit of talking like you are applying for grants because it's going to help you practice what to say on these applications. So if that's what you're asking, absolutely. As we know, there's a secret language to winning grants. And so they're looking at how you talk about what you do in your business. So that's why I want y'all to talk to me in the chat about what you do. And that matters. They're looking at, they call that alignment. Like however you describe what you do in your business or however you talk about your business, you got to go beyond just your title. You got to talk about the results that you're delivering. That's what me and Hustle Princess talked about on her bonus call yesterday. So when you join us in our mentorship program, if you're the first one to join during our live tonight, you get a bonus 60-minute call with me to talk about your business and why you should apply for grants. And so that's what me and Hustle Princess did. She won a bonus call with us. She's one of our new mentees over at blackwomenandgrants.com. And we went through some of that secret languaging for how to phrase how she talks about her business. Chrissy says she would for sure apply for a grant with an application fee if she was confident in the application and knowing you got the potential to win thousands. If y'all have never filled out a grant application, I want to share like the top 10 things to expect, like what's on that application. But let's take a minute and share this live out again. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm off screen. We usually have so many more people here. I'll try to come back on tomorrow and be on screen with y'all. But tonight I am working on so much stuff behind the scenes. I wasn't sure about my voice holding up. Hey, Chef B, where you been, girl? It's been too long. Welcome back. But share this out real quick. Let me see some shares and then I'll share what the grant application process looks like. Let me see if I can share this as well. I'm not sure how to do it, but I can try. Let's see. I can't see our hearts anymore. If you're tapping on the screen, oh, I'm on the wrong screen. There we go. Okay, I see it now. It disappeared. I got sad. Okay, let me share this out as well now that I can see that we are here. I'm going to share out with my 15. Let me do the same thing that I'm asking y'all to do. I don't even know. I'm just randomly selecting people. Even if you're here on the live, you're going to get something and say, Dr. AJ said, come on. Okay. There we go. So on our grants, and thank y'all for sharing. On grant applications, you're going to start to see where they ask you for your business name, your email, your phone number, your website. If you don't have a website or it's under construction, just use your social media. And if your social media isn't talking about what you do in your business, start a new social media today. Okay. It doesn't matter which platform it is. This is what you'll use in addition to or in place of your website. And on your socials, you need to be talking about your business. What is your product? What is your service? Who do you help? Why do you do it? That's what grants are going to be looking for. They do check, they do their due diligence. They're looking at who you are, how well you align with the grant and the brand behind the grant. They're listening for like how you describe your business. I always use that song 5'5" of Brown Eyes. Y'all remember that song? I've been in here listening to 90s music today, so I got a lot of other songs on my brain right now. But in that song, them describing her as being 5'5" with brown eyes, smile like the sunrise. They were really, really descriptive of who they were talking about. It could not be mistaken. Her height, what her smile looked like, the color of her eyes. That's how a grant wants you to talk about your business. Describe it to them. They also want you to get into detail about the people that you serve, your target audience, your target market. So think of your customers, think of your clients. And that's also how you can stay out of your own head, singing that me song where you're like, my business, me and my business, I need a grant, and focus more on the people that you're serving. You got to be able to talk about the problem that your business solves. And if your business doesn't solve a problem, you don't have a legit business. Okay, think about that. Because if your business is solving a problem, that means your business is the solution. And you got to be able to get into the details of the solution your business provides. And that usually takes a lot of thinking. I even had to think through this process at one point, like, what do I do exactly? And so I help, break down those financial barriers that Black women face because we are underfunded in our businesses. We're like genius. We're smart. We're masters at our craft. We're really, really good, and we could use some financial support or assistance. Talk to me through TAPS if that's you. If you're like, you know what, I'm really good at what I do. I know I have a good product or service. I could really use somebody else's money and funding behind it. Is that you? Okay, I see some taps. I have to switch back and forth on my screens. So that's what a grant is going to be looking for. And then they're also going to ask how long you've been in business, how much money you've made, how much revenue you're bringing in, income you're bringing in, your sales. And even if you have not brought in any money or you've brought in less money than you would like, that's okay. They're going to ask for something called your financial projections. What do you see yourself making? Where can you see yourself in the next 12 months, 24 months, 36 months as it relates to making money? So if you haven't started a business or sales has been low, just financially project what you see. And then they're going to ask you about why you need grant funding. Some of them will say, well, what happens if you don't win the grant? And so you got to share with them your plan B, your backup plan. Like, well, I'm going to keep applying for grants. I'm going to go get a loan. I'm going to get some credit cards. I'm going to try crowdfunding and see if I can muster up some people that'll sow into my business. I'm going to keep my 9 to 5 and reinvest back into it. I'm going to take out a loan, So you have to show what other funding you have planned for your business so that you're not just standing with your hands out asking for grant funding. And then here's the number one secret to winning a grant. The number one way to stand out on a small business grant application is to show them that you're more than just a businesswoman, but you're someone who's also involved in her community. We call that social impact. So your community involvement, your social impact, in addition to why they should choose you over your competition, plus your future goals with your business, all of that can help you stand out on a grant application. Ms. T says, I believe my business is a problem solver for struggling small business owners. Possibly, Ms. T. Tell me what you do. Remind me. I know you probably have told me every time you come on this live, but tell me again what you do. Because your business does need to solve a problem. Like the reason your business exists is because somebody had a problem. And you're like, oh, I can solve this. Or somebody saw that you were solving a problem. They're like, you should start a business doing this. Our people will give you a job in a minute. You make a good red velvet cake. You should start a bakery. They'll give us something to do. Grants can be checks in the mail, by the way. They also can be deposited into your business bank account. I'm waiting on 3 payments as we speak. 1 is coming to my PayPal and 2 are coming to my business bank account. Ain't that cool? So they can show up as payments through PayPal. They can be gift cards. They can be company credits. Over the last week and a half, I've received over $7,200 in company credits. That's what I was doing right before this live, playing around with. We got the highest tier of email marketing for the next year. That's regular price, $350 a month. We got it for free for the next year thanks to a grant. So I've been over there figuring out what's all the bells and whistles I'm about to take advantage of. The countdown has started. Let's play. Somebody else paying for this. Let's get the best. You know how stuff tastes better? It looks better when somebody else paid. Child, that's how I am with these grants. So it's a lot of fun to win grants. There's also something called grant funded opportunities. And this is where you will find like scholarships to attend what's known as business incubators and accelerator programs, or fellowship programs. If you're in the startup phase, you need to look for incubator programs. You can go to Google right now and type in incubator. These are programs that the money has already been invested into helping entrepreneurs in your community and online at a global scale. Like right now, I'm in a program with people in the UK and in Finland. I've never been there. I got my passport, but we're learning, and I'm here in Atlanta. So it can be worldwide, but it can also be, in your local neighborhood. So those are incubator programs. Accelerator programs are for those of you who have already started businesses, but you could really use some gas, some accelerant on what you do. You could really use help with what you've already been able to do successfully. And so they have like coaches and advisors and trainers and mentors that you can talk to about your next level in your business. And then what's known as fellowship programs, those are designed to help you as a business owner, like really hone in on your leadership skills. Does anyone have any questions about any of this so far? Put it in the chat. Any questions? Ms. T says, I maintain the daily transactions for their business with their financial aspects. Excuse me. Fighting off a cold, y'all. So bear with me. Yeah, Miss T, I'm trying to think. So if you think about like what you do, if it's centered around like money management, the problem you're helping solve is for people who, like me, get a headache when they open QuickBooks. We don't want to be our own bookkeeper. We want to hire accountants, tax advisors, bookkeepers, professionals who are good at the numbers so that when it comes tax time, we saving money, and our money is also being protected. Our investments are being protected. So you're taking that off of our hands, helping us to save ourselves from headaches and stress and breaking somebody's rule that we didn't even know existed, right? Yeah, that's a problem solver. Absolutely. So if you know that your business solves specific problems, be ready to talk about that on these small business grant applications. Because with these incubators, these accelerators, these fellowship programs, you're going to start to see scholarships and stipends and small business pitch competitions and contests and giveaways and sweepstakes and bursaries and partnerships and sponsorships. All of that is baked into these types of grants and grant funded opportunities. You said, Leslie said, what? Hey, Leslie, how are you, girl? Long time no see. Where you been? Said, what is that? What grant so hard to get? Ask me again. I want to make sure I understand your question. Hustle Princess says, what amount should we start looking to win first? It depends on what you apply to. So it depends on where that level of faith is, you know? Like I told you, you have to start getting into the mindset that you believe you can win a grant. If you really believe you can win a grant, you don't have a problem with applying for any amount. You can apply for the first grant you see. You can wait till you see one for 6 figures. That's what Raven did. It's up to you though. That's how she won her first 100,000. So yeah, how much do you need? That's what you could ask yourself first. How much do I need in this moment? And then that's what you can go after. Or like we talked about on our call yesterday, multiply that thing and go for 10 times greater. But it's all about your belief. Yeah. And based on your business priorities. Like, what are you trying to win a grant for right now? Leslie says, why they are so hard to get grants? Because you don't know what you're doing. You're trying to go about it yourself. A lot of y'all are expecting it to be easy, or you want to pass it off and have somebody else do it for you. You haven't studied the process enough to know what you need to be putting on these applications. So imagine walking into any building in like a big city. So like a New York and Atlanta, Chicago, LA. You just walk in and you sit at somebody's desk if they let you in the building, right? But let's say you get through, you get on the elevator, you go to the top floor, you just sit in someone's office. You have no idea what you're doing. That's how y'all come to grants. So if you're just learning about grants or you thought you knew enough and you're doing what we call spraying and praying, you're just sitting there scribbling on paper, submitting applications and not sure if you're applying for the right grants. That's why it's hard, because you're just guessing. You just walked into this new world that you're unfamiliar with and just started typing nothing on a computer. And so it's not adding up. That's why it feels hard, because you're trying to do something that you haven't trained for. And that's why we're here with Black Women in Grants. When Leslie, I think the last time we chatted, we were just getting into the hundreds of coaches that we had certified. And then I told you I was getting into the grant space. This was a few years ago, right? And so since then, I have met and mentored over 655 ladies. They're in our mentorship program over at blackwomeningrants.com. I've written 4 books that breaks down the grant process. So you can start to understand what grants are, what they're not, what it means to be a for-profit small business winning grants. So for us, we're not applying for like federal funding, government contracts, government grants, nonprofit grants. We're actually winning funding from foundations, organizations, corporations, and associations. And so when you know what type of grant funding to look for, you start to get more familiar with the grant application process. So the people that have been on our checks lately have been people like Goldman Sachs and Google and Wells Fargo and Bank of America, Regions Bank, Office Depot, Office Max, and a few others I haven't been released to talk about yet. And we're waiting on that check. That's one of those checks that'll be deposited to our business bank accounts. So that's what it looks like on the for-profit side, because there is a grant available for your business regardless of what type of business you have. So if you are, one of those who has a business that qualifies for grants, we talked about that earlier. If you're not winning grants yet, it's either because you're not applying for the right types of grants for your business, or you need what's known as a better grant application strategy, or GAS, because your next grant win is within your control. But if you're of the mindset, it's hard, I can't find them, they're hard to win, they never pick me, I keep getting rejected, is this a scam? Is this legit? Does this work? Can I do this? That's the mindset you're going to be stuck at, and that's your outcome every time. But I'm going to teach you some mental tricks to get you in the winning space, because I had to do this as well. Because once you apply for your first or next grant using what I teach you, it's going to put you on the fast track to winning. But I want to let y'all know, if you are stuck outside and you're complaining about grants, your odds of winning a grant are 0% if you do not apply. It's up to you though. And so there are ways that you can win grants quicker. We don't have time to really dive into it. Hopefully, some of y'all will be here with me next month live in Atlanta at our exclusive private event here in the city, talking about using AI to help you do this at a deeper level. I've discovered some things lately, y'all. I was on a call yesterday with someone who is now one of my mentors in the grant space. And they were in the field of grants where rich families, multimillionaires and billionaires would reach out to their agency and bring them on board to decide who got their grant money. And so they were just sharing tip after tip with me yesterday. And I was so mad because I forgot to record. So I invited them to come do a bonus call with us for those of you who will be joining us live here in Atlanta. And I'll be sharing out that link with you guys. I'm setting up the email as we speak. So I'll do that, finish that up when we get off the call tonight. But when you join us in the mentorship over at blackwomeningrants.com, you will be one of the first people we invite to this call, because if y'all could hear what these grants are really looking for behind the scenes and what really stands out, your mouth gonna be wide open like mine was. And I'm rarely speechless, okay? So, hello, Coco Bean, how are you? So yeah, if you're not doing these things that I teach, it's taking you way too long to apply for grants. Even if you've never applied, it's taking you way too long to apply. If you've been applying for grants and you're not winning them yet, it's because you do not have a grant application strategy, and you need one, or you need to make your strategy better. And so my mentees in the mentorship over at blackwomeningrants.com win their first 4, 5, and 6 figures in grants and grant funded opportunities within the first 90 days of working with me. Grants are not hard to win, y'all. And to win that first 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, you must apply for higher level grants and grant funded opportunities. So stop trying to look for quick wins, or let me go because it's only $250 or $500. Think bigger. If you're of the mindset, I never win, and I've applied for so many grants, and grants aren't easy to find, and grants are hard to win, I keep getting rejected, I don't know where to start, I want to pay somebody to do this for me. Grants are going to be just that, hard. You'll never win. You'll keep applying. You keep getting rejected, and you'll keep feeling like, what am I doing wrong? Where do I start? How do I correct this? And so I always walk our mentees through like how to shift your mindset, thinking through like how you can enhance your application answers, even using tools like AI. Think about how you can keep applying until you win, because it's not that you're not winning, you just haven't won yet. But when you enhance your application answers, when you keep applying until you win, you can also hold yourself accountable by keep searching for grants every month. Like put that on your calendar. I get monthly reminders to sit down, search for grants, read through the qualifications, decide if I'm going to apply, who else do I know that can use this opportunity, and I go from there. It's also helpful to see that people are actually winning grants and start learning from grant winners. You can go to Google now and type in grant winners and see who pop up. You can ask ChatGPT to give you a list of some grant winners and see who pops up. But also remember that like rejection is part of the game, y'all. It's a part of the game of life. Number one, we're Black, we're women, and we're entrepreneurs. So we are a minority of a minority of a minority. We wake up to rejection. But many of us choose to look past that, keep pushing forward, have a positive mindset, and that's what it's going to take with these grants. No one owes you anything. No grant is guaranteed. And again, rejection, quote unquote, is a part of the game. But if you're learning from every time you've been told no, every application that has not been approved yet, you're going to improve your strategy of how to win those grants. And if you're in the mindset that, wait a minute, they said they got money, they're willing to give it to someone, so that means somebody has to win this money. You know what? It could be me. Why not me? I deserve this. Let me go apply. And if you just use the information that you have, You keep learning, you keep asking for help, you keep showing up, keep engaging. Go ahead and follow this page. Be here with us. I'm usually live with y'all here on TikTok Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also come join us in the mentorship over at blackwomeningrants.com. That's where I am all the time, answering questions, on calls, answering emails. I'm available to you 24/7 in the mentorship, in addition to the books that I've written for you and interviews that I've done with our grant winners to see how they won, why they were selected, what they said, why they think they were chosen. And they're telling you how you can go and do the same thing they did to win your first or next grant as well. So we got videos and audios, the books and audio that will or an app that will read the books via audio to you, and other bonuses that I put together for you to make sure that you're succeeding in this space and you're not back in some random stranger's office feeling like, what am I doing here again? What am I supposed to be doing? No, you're walking in with authority. They were expecting you and they're excited to announce that they've selected you as the winner. Like, you're invited into rooms as grant winners. I was just like randomly basking in the feeling of, oh my goodness, I can now say how much money I've won. And I've won over $1 million for my personal life. In my business, I've won multiple six figures in funding recently. Our mentees have won almost $500,000 recently. That feels so good that we're all now in these spaces where the checks are being written. We're not outside looking in, talking about how hard it is or how hard grants are to find or how we keep getting rejected. We never win. We figured out the code. I've cracked the code. And so I teach a 3-part process called ASK, A-S-K, to teach you how to ask to be the winner, ask to be selected, ask for the funding. So I'll go through that in just a minute, but I want to remind you that grants are not guaranteed. So be careful. Even here on social media, you'll have people in your inbox, you'll see people's videos, and they're trying to guarantee you they can help you win a grant. That's called unethical and scams. So be really, really careful and just know that no one can guarantee you a win, but you can guarantee yourself that you'll continue to consistently apply for grants until you win. And as a reminder, you're not winning because you're not applying to the right grants or grant funded opportunities. Or if you're not applying at all, your odds of winning a grant are absolutely 0%. Okay. If this is making sense, y'all talk to me in the chat. Ms. T says, is it possible to use grant funding in your business to help owners pay to start up BK? What is BK? I'm getting a text message. I don't even know who that is, child. Okay. Let me walk y'all through real quick what grants have paid for me, Miss T. I think this is going to answer your question. So grants are currently paying for my bookkeeping for the next year. They're like, give us what you got. So I have I have a tax advisor, but I was doing my own bookkeeping, and they're like, we're here to save you. We're going to coach you over the next 12 months and help you. So bookkeeping software, email marketing software, coaching, advising, personal credit repair, tax advising, business program membership, branding packet, event sponsorships, masterclass memberships, business coaching course, books on pitching to make my pitch better when I ask for funding, access to MBA level business training, technology upgrades, self-care boxes, office supplies, shopping sprees. I was doing some cleaning earlier. I won a $500 shopping spree to an office supply store. I didn't know they sold cleaning products. So I got the biggest bottle of Pine Sol I've ever seen. That thing been sitting in my kitchen for years now, but it's still in there, brand new in the packet, and a grant paid for it. Okay. I guess they figure you got to clean your office. I was like, let me bring this home for my home office. So even like little tumblers that I drink out of when y'all see me on camera, sipping water, tea, coffee, grants paid for that for me. Office furniture, I got a new desk, new chair, new filing cabinet, office supplies galore, journals, pens, highlighters, dry erase markers, dry erase boards, Post-it notes. I got so much stuff. I started giving stuff away. I got flash drives, external hard drives, about to get a new phone really soon. I'm waiting on that check to clear. We got some tech grants coming through. And so I'm really excited about that. We even have a stipend to host our event here next month in partnership with Google and Watson Institute. So for those of you who are joining us in our mentorship over at blackwomeningrants.com, you'll get an exclusive private invite to our invite only event with Google taking place live here in Atlanta next month to come join us because Google's paying for it. This year I've had multiple invitations to luxury dinners, rides in Uber Blacks. I love it because I didn't have to drive. Luxury shuttles. I've been on the ferry out in New Jersey recently. I've just been traveling. Luxury hotel stays, flights, business cards, Amazon Prime, Audible, you name it. Like I have won it. And a lot of people don't know that you can win grants for just about anything, Miss T. So let's talk about the types of grants you need to be applying for. Right. I've learned to love them, girl. I thought I was scared of heights until I got on that flight. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm good. I'm in a bus in the air for the second and third time ever in my life. And all three times that I've flown, grants have paid for it. And then I just won a $500 gift card from Delta 2 weeks ago. So all four times that I will have flown, somebody else, other people's money has paid for it, okay? So that's what I'm talking about. You said, what if I have a build in the back of my house? I can make my office. Get to it. What's stopping you? They don't know what my office looked like. They just sent a brand new in the box desk, chair, and filing cabinet for me to put together. And I ended up selling it to my neighbor because I had just bought new Amazon desk and chair. So, yeah, why not? Let's talk about business phases real quick. I want to know what phase of business you guys are in. Are y'all in the startup phase? Where startup phases is like if you've made no money to about 25K so far in your business, 25,000. Anybody in the startup phase, just put startup in the chat. Anybody in the startup phase? That's where you have really, you're still working out your business idea. So you don't really have a clear idea, like it's still in your head. Or maybe you'll have like no product or service yet. You haven't really launched. It might be on paper. It might be on your Bapruda, as my little niece used to call computers. It might be in like a notebook, a journal, a series of loose leaf papers around your desk, in your book bag, in your purse. It might be in the cloud. It might be a string of emails on your phone. Anybody in the startup phase? Low to no sales, not really launched. That's what's known as the startup phase. And that matters because it's going to matter the type of grant you apply to. So if you're in the startup phase, you should be applying for startup grants, okay? The second phase, and there are only two, you're not in between, you're either one or the other. The second phase is started. Anybody here started? Put started in the chat. That's if you made at least $25,000 to $50,000 and you're doing it consistently. So within the last 12 months or every year, you're making at least 25K to 50K. You've actually started your business. You have a product, you have a service, you've made sales, you're filing taxes, you got a profit and loss statement, you got testimonials, you got your EIN numbers, you got your business bank account, you got your articles of incorporation, you have your products and services to the point where you're now ready to expand those products and services. You even have your back-end software, your CRM that's now ready to be upgraded. Anybody started in their businesses, put started in the chat. Another bonus category that you'll see grants for, this is getting into like the tech space. They'll ask, are you scaling? Scaling is where you're making like 50 to 100K plus a year. And so you'll have your products, your services where your sales are increasing. And so you need to hire a bigger team or more staff and actually get everybody on payroll, including yourself. You may be ready to automate a portion of what you do in your company. You have your CEO, your CFO, your CMO. And if you don't know what any of those are, you're not in this phase. People who hire professional bookkeepers, CPAs to manage millions of dollars, They also have tax advisors for their small business. They have assistants. These are people in what's known as the scaling phase. So if you're in the startup phase, you can actually go to Google right now and type in grants for startup businesses and watch what pops up if you want to know how to find those types of grants. If you've started a business, you need to be applying for what's known as growth grants. And so you, again, can plug that into Google. So the startup people, I see most of y'all are in the startup phase. You can apply to those incubator programs I told you about, startup grants, pitch competitions, bursaries, contests, giveaways. You qualify for all of those, even if you've never sold a product, even if your business is not officially started, right? So you do qualify. You just got to know what you do in your business. You got to have an idea of what the business is and how you're going to make money from it, in addition to winning grants. That's what they're going to look for. And then those of you who have started your business, you can apply for accelerators. You can apply for what's known as growth grants. You also can apply for those pitch competitions and contests, sponsorships, subsidies, and sweepstakes. All of those are available for people who are already up and running in their businesses. And then finally, if you're in that scaling category like me, you're in like fellowships or looking for fellowships, they're going to develop you as your business, as the owner, as the leader, as an employer. And so they offer what's known as recoverable grants now to people who are scaling. So what that looks like is, for example, there's one out right now for $100,000. They'll pay you $100,000 over the next 18 months to really get your business like scaling, taking off to the next level. And so if over the next 5 years you make less than $2 million, you'll pay that $100,000 back. But if you make less than 2 million over the next 5 years, you keep that 100K. That's a recoverable grant because they use whatever you pay back if you do well to recycle that funding for the next fellow that comes through the program. So people in the scaling category also should be applying for awards. So you can be like, I'm an award-winning business, and it stands out for you landing like sponsorships and partnerships and affiliates. Y'all got it? Put got it in the chat. If you got it, this is helping. It's making sense. Again, if you want to know where to find grants, you can literally go to Google, type in small business grants, or type in your business phase, either startup or started, like grants for startups, grants to help grow businesses. You can plug all of that in, and it'll bring up results. There's other places to find grants I'll be diving into in our event live here in Atlanta next month. But real quick, I want to cover what grants cannot be used for. Hustle Princess says, got it. Just typed it into Google, immediately seeing things. I be trying to tell y'all. Y'all be wanting me to like, well, what's the website and who do I ask for? Give me a phone number and an email to call. Girl, if you don't go to Google and find your own list for free, especially if you got more time than money, because if you want me to do it, it's going to cost you. Come on and join us in the mentorship, okay? Real quick, grants cannot be used to pay bills, especially your personal bills. They can't be used to pay back taxes or your rent or utilities. They can't be used to pay personal credit cards or debts or business debt. They can't be used to buy a new car for your personal use or your personal salary only. They cannot be used for you to go take vacations or take care of your family, friends, or loved ones. And more importantly, grants are not here to help you avoid bankruptcy or going out of business. Okay? But the reasons that you want to be applying for grants, and actually what you should be telling a grant you're going to use their grants for, is to start up your business, to sustain a business you've already started, to scale a business, or that you want to work on a business project or a community project, which we call social impact. And so this is all centered around like you getting business coaching program scholarships and tuition paid for. If you want to get some leadership development done for yourself or your team, if you want to develop like a workforce development or training program to hire more people for your business, if you want to provide scholarships like I do over at blackwomeningrants.com, if you want to offer classes or certifications, you can do all of that through grants. So these are all great reasons to apply for grants. Put secrets in the chat if you would like for me to tell you my top secret to winning grants. Because I know y'all are like, well, what do I say on the application? Let me know. Look at Linda on our other live stream raising her hand. Hey, girl. Put secrets in the chat if you want to know my number one secret to winning grants. I'm happy to share, but like I said, y'all got to share, y'all got to talk. If y'all don't share and y'all don't talk, then neither do I. Okay. So talk to me in the chat if you want to know. Because yes, there is a secret language. Yes, there are secret keywords. Yes, there is SEO, as someone called it before. Yes, there are things you should say and things you should not say. It's absolutely possible to give too much information on a grant application. It's also possible to not give enough. And if you don't know what they're looking for you to say, it's so funny. So yeah, I'm going to open up our comments so we can chat a little bit. I usually leave them off. I'm gonna try to be there for you with y'all tomorrow. Depending on how my voice goes, because I have been struggling on these lives this week, and I really need to get into rest mode for our event we got coming up here in Atlanta, because I want to be in my best health, so I can teach y'all for 5 straight hours all about finding, applying for, and winning grants. Y'all ready? Again, the website to come join us in the mentorship is www.blackwomeningrants.com. Blackwomeningrants.com. You can check out our mentorship program. We do have Klarna, Afterpay, and Affirm to help you get into the mentorship. It is $197, one payment, and it gives you 6-month access into the mentorship program. And so that is, again, one payment of that. And there's Klarna, Afterpay, and Affirm if you need it, okay? So keep that in mind. But I did want to share that with you guys. Hello, Ashley's mom that came to Atlanta that didn't even say hey or nothing. I am so jealous. Like, what? Hey, mom. Okay. Let me get y'all these secret words. I was checking on our other live stream. I think we are good over there. So here are the words, and y'all please write these down or listen closely. I don't want to repeat them because y'all be trying to make me work twice as hard, and I will not, okay? Here are the words that you need to be putting on every small business grant application when you're telling them why you're applying for grants. They're going to ask why you need this grant. They're going to want to know what you're going to do with the money. And if you're adding words like women, men, LGBTQIA plus, youth, senior citizen or elderly, students, veterans, disabled, BIPOC or BIPOC, minority, low income, underserved, underrepresented, rural, immigrants, refugee, or disadvantaged backgrounds, your application is going to stand out. What you're doing with these words is combining them with like how you want to develop workshops or care packages or back to school drives or health and wellness programs or financial literacy programs or teaching life skills or creating a reading program or teaching or sharing a skill. Maybe it's something medical related or health and wellness, hygiene, self-care, or even something called cultural preservation where you're trying to save the culture for a certain community. All of these are secrets to winning your first or next grant. And this is also how you can get out of your head about how hard grants are to win, how hard they are to find. It's not about you. Notice I didn't put anything about you as the business or the business owner or the type of business you own. Someone once told me that there's someone waiting for me to walk in my destiny so others can walk into theirs. And that hit hard. This was almost 15, 20 years ago, and I still remember that. But I want to transfer that over to you because when you impact one life, you're impacting generations. And when you think about that one life, that should be the reason behind why you're applying for grants. Because that one life that's going to lead to generations, because you said yes to applying for grants, walking in your destiny, and inspiring others to walk into theirs, that's what's going to win you grants. And before I knew these secrets, it took me hours to apply for grants. I wasted a lot of time applying for the wrong types of grants. I was trying to like make my business fit certain grant opportunities. I still didn't get it. But it also takes you out of the mode of feeling like you're begging for money, or as I call it, tap dancing. Like, why I gotta go tap dance? But before I knew these secrets, I was really uneducated about how to apply for grants to win. So just like Leslie asked earlier in the live, why are they so hard to win? It's because you're trying to figure this out on your own. Because I went through that as well, getting rejected and receiving way more no's than I did yes. I was ghosted as well by grants. I couldn't get feedback about why I didn't win, what was wrong with my application. But when I learned these secrets by just studying the process, because I study grants, like I can't even explain how grants are in my dreams. Like I'm actually teaching classes in my dreams. Like I woke up today just having a full conversation. I don't even know what I dreamt about, but I remember like talking out loud and wrapping up a conversation right before I woke up. And I was like, I really like live this. So I study this process. I'm always learning about what's going on with grants. And then I always share it with our mentees over at blackwomeningrants.com. That's how I have learned what works for me, what's worked for our mentees, having won almost $500,000 in grants. That's how I was able to get flown out this year and won awards and won grants and small business grant funded opportunities over six figures in funding. So now I know how to like save hours applying for grants. One of the grants that I just won, it took me about 45 minutes to apply for that grant, and it was for $6,000 cash and then about $10,000 in business credits for services that I already was paying out of pocket for. So that's what it looks like to get help with this process, not trying to figure it out on your own. Because now I do, and I also teach my mentees to apply for higher quality grants and grant funded opportunities. So yeah, you can go to Google, you can find your own opportunities. You'll see people selling lists of grants or sharing lists, but you want to make sure you're applying for high quality grants that not a lot of competition is in. Once I learned that as the key, I started getting accepted for way more grants and grant funded opportunities. I started getting approved and getting those congratulations emails. I got a lot more yeses, a lot more selected. You've been selected, you've been accepted. Then unfortunately, we regret to inform. So that helped me to meet my grant goals. And grant goals are like whatever number you have in mind that you want to win in grants. We call that your grant goal. And if you've ever applied for a grant or you've hesitated to apply for a grant because you're like, well, I want to know, is this application right? Or what was wrong with it? Why didn't they say yes? Or is it good enough to submit? I now know how to give myself feedback on these grant applications before I apply for the next one. And I teach our mentees how to do that as well so that you can start to have a repeatable grant winning system that saves you time. And so I teach that in what I call ASK, Ask. It's our 3-step high-level grant winning strategy for Black women with for-profit small businesses. It stands for align, story, and know. ASK. So the A is for align, where you align your grant application to match up with the reason that they're granting the grant, with the reason that you're applying for that grant or grant funded opportunity. That's your A. And then your S stands for share. You want to share your story. Remember, I said it's possible to share too much, TMI, as my aunt used to say, or not know which story to share. And so you want to share that story of startup success. Grants call that your founder story. Like, why did you start your business? Who do you help? And it goes back to being able to describe the results that your business brings, the problems that your business solves. And then you want to talk about your social impact. Remember, I said it stands out and it matters to grants if you're involved in your community. So, social impact is all about how you're serving your clients, your customers, your community, charity, churches, and causes that are really near and dear to your heart. Whether you take grant money and invest it back into your community, or you go volunteer or give away products or services, etc. And then finally, that K is for know, where you want to know your small business funding model. That means knowing your numbers. Me and Ashley talk about this a lot. Knowing your numbers could look like knowing what you sell, every product, every service, knowing your revenue or income, how much you've made in sales. And no worries if you haven't made a lot, you can know your numbers with your statistics. What are the statistics of people in your industry? Like today, I found out um, from an article by Harvard that there are over 2.7 million Black women small business owners in America. I didn't know that was that high. I just knew we were leading among any other group with starting businesses. That's a number, that's a statistic, that's an industry statistic specific to what I do. So you're going to have to find your statistic, and it's easy to find, you know. You can also focus on the numbers of your social media accounts, where your follower counts matter. Or you're building them, where you can see it going, how much you can see yourself making. And then most importantly, talking about knowing your numbers as far as what you'll do with and or without a grant win. And that's what grants want to know. So everything we've been talking about the last hour and a half about what grants are, grants for your business, where to start, how to apply. I told y'all about some of our winners. One of them is here tonight. Tay, you here too? Ashley's here. She's our $42,000 grant and grant funded opportunity winner. Tay is our swim instructor that has won over $35,500 from small business pitch competitions, contests, and grants and giveaways, and so much more. So I shared our stories about people who are actually winning this money. Um, Myths that you don't want to fall into the trap of believing. You want to get into the right mindset. We went through that exercise. Hello, Dione. How are you? Welcome back, girl. Good to see you here. We just went through business phases. Based on where you are in your business is going to determine the type of grant you apply to make sure you're applying for the right type of grants. And then I told y'all where to find these grants, what they can be used for, what you shouldn't be using grants for, and reasons to apply for grants as long as you're in that qualified category versus the unqualified businesses that don't uh, won't be eligible to win grants. But using all that to help you meet your grant goals, making sure you're asking the right way to be selected. All of this is what I dive into in our mentorship over at blackwomeningrants.com. And I have one scholarship that is available tonight for someone who really wants my help, because yes, I can help you with the grant application process. We call that GAP, or your gap. I want to help you fill that gap to get your grant winning grant application strategy together. And we have a mentorship program called The Grant Game, because grants are a game. You need to know how to play, but not just play, play to win. So I want to help
So
you find, apply for, and win grants and grant funded opportunities as a Black woman with a for profit small business that you really need to get funded. You know what you do. You're going to take it serious enough to actually go out and apply for these opportunities, but you just need help. You just need to know what to say on these applications. I got you, girl. Head over to www.blackwomeningrants.com. That's BLACKWOMENIN. I'm talking myself through because I'm typing it in our other live stream. Black Women in Grants, grants.com. That's www.blackwomeningrants.com. That's where our mentorship, the grant game, lives online. It is $197, one-time payment. There's Klarna, there's Afterpay, and there's Affirm. I just saw it on the site, making sure it was there. And it takes 2 minutes to join us. Our scholarships are available on a first come, first serve basis. And if you join, when you join during the live, you got like 5, maybe 10 more minutes. It takes 2 minutes to join us, by the way. I'll throw in a bonus call with me, like the one me and Hustle Princess had yesterday for a whole hour. We actually went over, we started talking about other stuff. But it's for us to sit and get clear on what you do and what you really can win grants for, which grants you need to be applying for, and what you need to be sent on these applications. And also a part of joining us live tonight is the bonus ticket to our VIP event here in Atlanta in November, which is less than 30 days away, y'all. I'm doing a countdown over here, but I am over here preparing the invitations to be sent out. You do have to be in our mentorship to get an invitation to come join us in the mentorship or join us in the live event for our mentees here in Atlanta. You don't have to live here to come. You're welcome to fly in, like several people are going to. But that's a ticket. You won't see the bonuses on our website. So you got to join us during the live to get the bonus call with me and get the bonus event ticket, okay? What questions can I answer for you guys before I go? Again, we got a few more moments before I wrap up. Let me know if you have any questions or if you want to share any ahas or takeaways or anything that was really helpful to you on the live tonight. My stomach is growling, y'all. I got a fridge full of food. So I got to go figure out dinner in just a minute. So if you got a question, now's the time to ask. My stomach will not participate much longer before I start getting a migraine. So we're about to wrap this up. I don't want to be on here chewing in y'all's ear, okay? Does anyone have any question about anything we've talked about so far about grants and grant funded opportunities? Joining us in the mentorship program over at blackwomeningrants.com. You can either put that in your browser, just type it in directly, or click our profile link here on TikTok and it'll walk you through step by step what link to click to get to the mentorship program and sign up to come join us. Any questions? Y'all better talk. If not, I'll go ahead and wrap us up. If you don't follow this page, make sure you follow this page. Turn your notifications on for when we go live so that hopefully TikTok will let you know we're live on our Black Women in Grants channel. Our other live streams, make sure you subscribe to our channel. And I don't know how it works there yet. We're new here, new kids on the block, but I wanted to bring y'all into the TikTok live so that we can start building our communities in addition to TikTok, okay? Y'all got like 60 seconds. If you got a question, put it in the chat. If not, I'll go ahead and wrap us up. If you're over at blackwomeningrants.com claiming your mentorship spot, just put wait in the chat and I'll wait on you if you would like so that I can make sure you get logged in. You'll get access to your welcome packet for the mentorship where you can download the books right away and go watch the videos tonight. You can get started learning about grants so that you're not out trying to figure this out on your own, fingers, eyes, and toes crossed, trying to hope that something works and sticks. But I got you, walking you through this process step by step. And I got some new stuff I'm adding to the program very, very soon, y'all. I'm learning so much, and I don't be want to overwhelm y'all. I'll be trying to give y'all time to learn the basic stuff, but y'all better come on because grants are changing. So is the strategy to win this funding, and I'm happy to share it with you if you want to know. If you want me to teach it to you and you don't have time to try to figure this out on your own, because it took me 5 years to know what I know today about winning grants for your business. And so that's how I've been able to win multiple 6 figures in funding. That's how our mentees are at almost $500,000 in wins. So if you want to come join us in the winning crew, if this is your winning season, head over to blackwomeningrants.com. Thank you so much for hanging out. Vicky, I think you're our top tapper tonight. I appreciate you. Miss T was number 2, and then Coco Bean was number 3. Shouts out to y'all, okay? I appreciate y'all for tapping and coming to learn about grants with us. That's all I got. I'll try to be here tomorrow. No guarantees. But I did want to jump on tonight and chat with you guys. I did good. Not a whole lot of coughing. We made it. I'm fighting off a cold or something. I've been over here taking Dayquil. I might need to take some NyQuil and just go on and sleep it off, okay? But I'm about to go eat. So I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Make sure y'all follow this page, and TikTok will hopefully let you know, send you the notifications when we're live. Y'all have a phenomenal rest of your nights. Oh, I'm sorry, Sheris. Hey, girl. I didn't see your comment. You said this is my season. Definitely sticking around. We're glad to have you. Make sure y'all join us on our upcoming live. Until we meet again, my friends, y'all have a phenomenal rest of your night. God bless. Bye, future grant winners. Praise the Lord. Praise ye. All right. I appreciate y'all, live streamers, YouTube. I love y'all, okay? Y'all have a great night, and I'll see y'all soon. God bless. Bye, y'all.